Now, a major climate pattern is back. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, has announced the return of El Nino, which is a natural climate phenomena that can influence weather across the world. Now, scientists do warn that while every El Nino event is different, the warming of Pacific Ocean waters can increase the risk of extreme weather, from droughts and heat waves to floods and wildfires. El Nino develops when warmer than usual sea surface temperatures spread across the tropical Pacific Ocean, altering winds, rainfall patterns, and atmospheric conditions far beyond the region. Now, in Asia, El Nino can bring drier conditions to many areas as warm Pacific waters shift eastward. South Asia could see an impact on monsoon system, with the possibility of below-average rainfall in some regions, affecting agriculture and water supplies for millions. In Australia, El Nino is often linked to hotter and drier weather, raising the risk of droughts, heat waves, and wildfires, particularly in the eastern parts of the country. Across Africa, the impact of El Nino is expected to vary by region. Parts of Horn of Africa can sometimes receive above-average rainfall during El Nino events, but southern, central, western, and some eastern parts of the continent often face drier conditions, increasing the risk of drought. Now, the previous El Nino cycle in 2023-24 contributed to one of the worst droughts in southern Africa in more than a century, creating severe food and water challenges. On the other hand, in the United States, El Nino can shift weather patterns, bringing more storms and winter rain or snow to some southern states. The U.S. West Coast also faces higher risk of coastal flooding during high tides. El Nino can also influence hurricane activity, reduce Atlantic storm development, while possibly supporting stronger cyclones in parts of the Pacific. In South America, El Nino can bring heavier rains to parts of coastal Peru and Ecuador, raising the risk of floods and landslides. At the same time, northern Brazil and parts of Amazon can experience drier conditions, increasing the threat of drought and wildfires. Now, El Nino events typically peak around December, but the heat stored in the ocean is released slowly into the atmosphere, and this often pushes global temperatures higher in the following year. And several of the world's hottest years included 1998, 2016, 2023, and 2024. It occurred during or after strong El Nino events. And climate scientists warn the return of El Nino can further intensify global heat trends and increase the chances of extreme weather around the planet.